You ever have one of those mornings where you walk into the shop, flip the lights, and just realize you've been living in a disaster zone for 3 months? I walked in today and tripped over a pile of walnut offcuts that's been migrating across the floor like a slow moving glacier. It's embarrassing.
Only 3 months? Tiger, I'm pretty sure I saw a family of squirrels nesting in your scrap bin last time I visited. You aren't organizing, you're hoarding with an audience.
Those squirrels were apprentices, Alex. They were learning the grain direction. But seriously, it's Sunday, March 8th, and if you're like me, you're looking at your space today thinking, how do I actually get some work done without a scavenger hunt for my tape measure? Welcome to the TigerDen Daily. We're talking tools that suck, in the good way, and how to turn a hobby into a paycheck that doesn't bounce.
Speaking of scavenger hunts, let's talk about this grizzly lumber cart you've been eyeing. The reviews on Tool Guide called it janky but serviceable. That sounds like the dating profile for every project I've ever finished.
See, janky but serviceable is actually a high compliment in my book. It's the tool equivalent of a 1980 on 4 pickup truck. It's not going to win a beauty pageant, and the welds might look like they were done by a caffeinated spider, but it keeps your wood off the floor.
But why buy janky when you could just build a good one? You're a woodworker, Tiger. It's literally in the job description.
Because sometimes I want to spend my Saturday making a chair, not making the thing that holds the wood to make the chair. It's a mobility play. You get those heavy boards on wheels, and suddenly your shop feels 10 feet wider. Though, I'll tell you, if the casters are as cheap as the price suggests, I'll be replacing those within a week. There is nothing more soul-crushing than a lumber cart with a flat spot on a wheel that goes thump, thump, thump every time you move it.
I can hear your blood pressure rising from here. Let's move to something that actually has some engineering behind it. Milwaukee's got a new compact brushless vacuum coming this summer. 40 CFM and 63 inches of water lift. Does that mean it'll actually pick up more than just hopes and dreams?
It's actually impressive for a cordless. 63 inches of water lift, for the folks at home, is basically how much pull it has when the nozzle is restricted. If you're drilling into drywall or sucking up metal swarf from a drill press, you want that lift.
Wait, swarf? Is that a real word, or did you just have a minor stroke?
It's the metal version of sawdust, Alex. Those curly little ribbons of steel that love to embed themselves in the soles of your boots and then scratch your hardwood floors at home. This Milwaukee unit is aimed at the trade path. It's for the guy under a sink or in an attic who doesn't want to drag a 50-foot orange cord behind him like a ball and chain.
Speaking of being in an attic, we need to talk about the HVAC world. The numbers coming out of the Bureau of Labor Statistics are wild. 8% growth through 2034, 40,000 openings a year. That's not a help wanted sign. That's a help desperate sign.
It's a gold rush for people who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. Look, I love woodworking, but the world will always need air conditioning more than it needs a hand-carved spoon. If you're 20 years old and looking for a path that won't be replaced by a computer chip, this is it.
But it's not exactly a glamour job, right? You're talking about crawl spaces and 120-degree attics in July.
It's honest technical work. It's puzzle solving with high stakes. And here's the kicker. National Careers and Trades Week is April 6th through the 10th. If you've been sitting on the fence, that's your window. Companies are so starved for talent right now, they're virtually rolling out the red carpet for apprentices. They'll pay you to learn. Think about that. Instead of a mountain of student debt, you get a paycheck to learn how to keep the world from melting.
Is that why you're always trying to convince me to learn how to weld? So you can get a TigerDen discount on your shop upgrades?
I just want you to have a fallback plan for when the robots take over the podcasting industry. Plus, a person who can fix a furnace is the most popular person on the block in January.
Let's pivot to the maker mogul side of things. Etsy just dropped their 2026 guidelines. To be vintage, an item has to be at least 20 years old, which terrifyingly includes things from 2006.
Just don't. I have sandpaper in my shop older than 2006.
I knew that would hurt. But the real meat here is the SEO strategy. They're seeing huge spikes in maximalist decor. Apparently, everyone is tired of living in a white box that looks like a hospital waiting room.
People want soul. They want that mid-century functional look. If you're an upcycler, don't just slap some chalk paint on a dresser and call it a day. Use the data. We're seeing a massive surge for home organization. If you can build something that hides the chaos, like a docking station for electronics or a clever way to store mail that doesn't look like a plastic bin, you're going to win.
It's funny, we're talking about high-tech vacuums for the shop, and the biggest trend for sellers is decluttering. Humans are just messy creatures trying to buy their way into being organized.
It's a cycle as old as time. But as a maker, you want to be the one selling the solution. I've started watching the climbing keywords on Amazon. If you see people searching for specific types of precision marking gauges or small space jigs, that's a signal. It tells you what people are struggling with in their own garages.
You mentioned that Amazon Goldmine list. I'm always skeptical of the precision for pennies stuff. Can you really get a decent tool for the price of a takeout pizza?
You have to be a bit of a detective. There are about 40 tools blowing up on the Maker channel right now that are surprisingly solid. There's this one marking gauge. It's a knockoff of a boutique brand that costs 5 times as much. Is the brass as shiny? No. Does the wheel lock up like a bank vault? Also no. But if you spend 5 minutes with a file cleaning up the burrs, it'll lay out a dovetail just as accurately as the expensive one.
So you're saying the secret sauce isn't the tool, it's the tuning?
Exactly. A tool is just an invitation to a result. Most of these affordable Amazon finds are basically kits that are 90% finished. You do the last 10%, the sharpening, the deburring, the calibration, and you've got a professional grade setup for a fraction of the cost.
I feel like that describes your whole philosophy. You'd rather spend the time than the money.
I'd rather have a shop full of tools I know how to fix than a shop full of expensive boxes I'm afraid to scratch. Every scratch on my bench is a story. Every tool I've had to modify to make it work right is a lesson I didn't have to read in a book.
It's about the grit, as your outro says.
It really is. Whether you're looking at that HVAC growth and thinking about a career change, or you're just trying to figure out how to sell 3 coffee tables this month to pay for a new bandsaw, the path is the same. You just have to start moving. Don't wait for the perfect tool or the perfect market.
Even if moving just means dragging a janky lumber cart across the floor?
Especially then. Just make sure the casters are decent.
All right, that's a wrap for the Sunday Daily. If you want to see that master tool list or check out the HVAC career path we mentioned, head over to the TigerDen blog.
Stay gritty, stay creative. I'm going to go see if I can find my floor under all this walnut.